Hello everyone and welcome to this video, some Frontier video. Now here's a wee video that I didn't really plan on making, but fans of my Blue Planet 64 channel will probably remember the ThinkPad T21 that I had. I say had because yesterday morning I decided to break it out, have a wee go on it, because I was wanting to make a video of it for this channel. But as I was doing so, I upgraded the hard disk to 20 gigabytes. In fact, here it is, and it's ready in the caddy. The machine actually died. It caught what is known as the blink of death. Basically, what happens is you switch it on, and the power light and the hard disk light blinks. You know, I mean literally for no more than a nanosecond, something like boop, and then it's off. So basically I decided to, well, didn't think I was really going to get it going, so I've decided to break it down for parts. Bit of a shame actually, because I really liked that machine. It was in such immaculate condition. But here's the main parts here. Not that you can really see them, and you can't turn on the camera light on this phone mid video. But yeah, so I've detached the screen, I've detached the keyboard, I've detached the surround, and well, basically here's the motherboard. Anything that could come off, or could be disjoined was. So basically, when breaking this machine down, I realised that at the heart of it was this. I believe this to be an 800 megahertz CPU. Not just any CPU though, this is a Pentium 3 CPU, Coppermine, with the nice blue core on it. Wait a minute. It shouldn't be blue, should it? I'm not entirely sure actually. But yeah, so here's a CPU. So basically, what I plan to do, as you may or may not be aware, the C500, you may or may not have seen the previous video about the C500 that I did last summer after coming home from Penumbra. That has actually got a Celeron in it, 900 megahertz. Fine processor, but crivens it goes at a pure snail's pace, right enough. So I've decided to put this in that. Try and kind of speed things up a bit. Now I am aware that the Celeron has a faster clock speed, but something you've got to be aware about processors, it's not always the clock speed that counts. Oftentimes, you've got your front side bus, you've got your cache, you've got your bus speed entirely. These are things that, and certainly, I mean, there's also different features. I'm not entirely sure what really differentiates a P3 from a Celeron, but the P3 is going to be faster, even though it is 100 megahertz slower. So because, I mean, I've pulled this out the ThinkPad. It's ThinkPad. It's no use in the ThinkPad. I've decided to try and speed this thing up a bit. And while I'm at it, I've got a new CMOS battery, so I'm going to install that as well. So, I've got everything that I need in order to be able to complete my task. Well, I've got a toolkit. Okay, two of the screwdrivers appear to be missing because I was using them earlier to break down the ThinkPad T21. There they are. I have the laptop that I'm going to upgrade. I have the CMOS battery. I have the processor. And I have a cup of tea. That is one of the most essential parts in any computer repair job, is a cup of tea. Right, so anyway, let's get started. First, I'm going to power this machine on and kind of show you the BIOS, what it is. Kind of show you how it's running at the moment. I'm going to do this more as a memory jog for myself because I really don't know what is going on at the moment. Oh, one of my Jeremy Clarkson DVDs in there. Nice one. Oh yeah, since you last saw this video, both this and the C610 have received upgraded drives. And this has received an upgraded hard drive. It's a 20 gig. This has got a DVD-ROM drive. The C610 has got a DVD-ROM CDRW combination drive. So at the moment, this is running on a distribution of Linux called Ubuntu. And as you can see, it's actually running really quite slow. Personally though, I think I'd like to go back to Windows 2000 on here. I mean, this was only a wee experiment, you know, to see how Linux would run, you know, on a very late Pentium 3, very early Pentium 4 era kind of type machine. I mean, this machine does have a wee sticker on it saying designed for Windows XP, which I'm pretty sure in the RTM days it was. I mean, I ran XP perfectly fine on my 633 MHz Celeron. But, yeah. I don't know. Personally, I mean, yeah, like I said, nowadays XP has become that bloated that really you do actually need a system which is pretty much designed to run Windows 7 in order to be able to run it. I mean, I've got my Cube, which has been upgraded to a 3.2 gig Pentium 4 press hot with hyper-threading, 2 gigs of RAM, and then, only then, it runs XP, well, absolutely fine. But this, well, just doesn't really cut it anymore as an XP computer. And especially considering the amount of RAM is measured in megabytes, not gigabytes. So here's Ubuntu. Let me just type my password in. Sorry, I'm not using my tripod in this video because, you know, I'll need the desk space to sort the machine, well, to basically take the different parts of the machine and to, well, basically I'll need different angles in this one. This machine does feel quite tight as a drum. If we turn on the daylight lamp, we see that the wear on the keyboard is minimal. I mean, the spacebar, you can definitely see some wear on it, but it's not really overly shiny. It's a lot better. Well, I suppose it is a wee bit, but it's not glossy shiny just yet. And the mouse pad, again, you know, pretty good. You know, and the buttons have a really nice satisfying click to them. Definitely for a right hand bias. So to say it's a lightweight distribution, this machine is, I'm gonna say, impractically slow. I mean, where you really need speed the most is laptops, I would say, because you don't always have the time. You know, I mean, you'll probably, while you may have time to get work done, you don't necessarily have the time to be sitting around waiting for the damn thing to load. And once again, here we go. So here's the BIOS. As you can see, it says Celeron 900 MHz. It's got 256 megs of RAM, ATI M3, 8 meg ESS Maestro 3, 20 gig hard disk DVD-ROM drive. Pretty all good, all pretty good. So, now, here comes the nervous part. Time to actually power down. and start taking this machine apart. Now, I'm not going to go through taking the whole machine apart, because it is going to be quite time consuming. And as much as, yes, even I know, I mean, I'm a professional, but as much as you think you know, it's always best to double check. I've never taken completely apart one of these particular types of laptop. So what I plan on doing is downloading the Latitude C500 service manual. And, you know, if you're even slightly unsure of what you're doing, download that. Laptops, they oftentimes, I mean, especially with me being visually impaired, they oftentimes have screws in hidden places. And personally, I would sooner spend a few minutes reading up on how to dismantle a laptop rather than completely dismembering it in such a way, well, maiming it, really. I don't want to do that. You know, I want to be able to use this laptop after I've made the processor upgrade. It was very easy to upgrade the CPU on the D510. You know, I was able to upgrade that from Pentium M 1.6 GHz. In fact, here's a wee chip here, Pentium M. It was a 1.6 GHz, but I upgraded it to a 1.73 out of a dead D610. Now this all seems to, well, actually it is pins. The pins are so small actually that it kind of looks like contacts, like on the Core 2 series of chips. But if you look in this direction, you can definitely actually tell that these are in fact pins. And have a look at the key there, there's one pin missing. So not really much of a key, if I'm going to be completely honest. Okay, so time to start dismembering. First of all, time to unplug the machine. And then what I plan to do here is remove the battery. Make sure you do that, because as long as that battery's there, your computer's still getting power. You don't want that. You don't want to zap your cell or the components. Okay, you know what, I've decided I probably will try and film as much of this as I can. Just bear with me. Plug in. Okay, so so far what I've done is I've removed the keyboard screws. So yes, the CPU is hiding underneath the keyboard. That's what I need to do now. Turn the machine over, open it up, and then use a flat-headed screwdriver to try and lift out the keyboard. And there we go. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to, luckily this is not a, well, I don't think it is. I don't believe this is a straight, well, ribbon connector, although I'm going to have a wee look. Right, so I need to pull on the connector. Oh. Not the most ergonomic of designs, I've got to be honest. But yeah, it's got a connector rather than a straightforward ribbon cable, so that means easy connection. I'm just going to put the keyboard to one side for the moment. So there we are. So here is the underside of the machine with the keyboard. Wee bit more to do, though. I believe the microprocessor to be under this plate here. So, what I'm going to need to do is remove, I'm going to need to remove the cooling assembly to be able to expose the microprocessor. So I'm away to do that now. So here we go. And I have located the CPU. What do you think about that? So now it's time to remove the actual processor itself. I don't need to remove the hybrid cooling fan. I've exposed the processor. So what I need to do, turn in the So I need to rotate this socket counterclockwise, 180 degrees. I think that's done it. Yes, it has. And here we have the Celeron 900 megahertz. So I'll put that to one side. I'm going to study this socket, and the key appears to be on the bottom left. So I'm going to drop the Pentium 3 in place where the Celeron used to be. There we go. That's it installed. And I'm going to hold it down and now turn this screw clockwise. There we go. That is the new, well, the Pentium 3 800 megahertz installed. So what I want to do now is I want to reattach the assembly. I'm going to follow the lock directions on the heatsink. I think what I'm going to do, screw them in diagonally like you would with a socket 775 processor. There you go. Now this is actually quite good because there's arrows showing which direction to lock it in. And just like the processor socket, you lock it clockwise. So there you go. You can, I don't know if you can see there, but yeah, that is the plate reattached. And now I want to reattach the keyboard. You may remember this from earlier. So all I need to do is put the keyboard face down on the palm rest and then kind of guide the connector back in to the processor, the keyboard socket here. Whoops, can be a wee bit fiddly. There we go. This can be a bit fiddly, so take your time, don't rush. According to Top Gear presenter James May, he who is last shall be first. I think that's actually a Bible quote, actually. It's, right. That's a wee bit annoying, that. The keyboard connector's kind of curling up. I hope that kind of roots itself somewhere else, because there's really no room for it here. Like, yeah, like that might do it. Yeah. There we go. And it's actually looking more like a laptop again. We're not quite done though, because what we need to do, shut the lid down, and the screws that we removed before, these wee comrades, we're actually going to need to screw them back in. And I must say, I must applaud Dell. The fact that the CPU is actually directly under the keyboard, and that you can actually get to it without having to part the whole laptop down. I mean, before I could get to the CPU while it was installed in the ThinkPad, I had to literally, I literally had to pare the laptop down to its component parts. That's not user-friendly. But then again, you know what IBM are like, button down, and why would you want to upgrade the microprocessor? Gadzooks! You saying we don't build it to the best of our abilities? We know what's best. We know what's best for you, soldier. Never trust. Seriously, I mean, how conservative of a company? You've got company songs all about sell, sell, sell. I mean, yeah, you're a business, you've got to make money, but... Well, IBM are now in the server market again. The mainframe. Funny how things happen, eh? Put this screw here. But before we actually put the final keyboard screw in, I would like to take a wee peek under here. Actually, before I do that, I think it's only fair that we actually power the computer on to see if it's actually worked. What we've done here. So, there we go. And what we're going to do, so I'm just going to plug this in and see if the machine will power on, and if it does, we'll go into the BIOS and see what it says. Okay. Well, the machine certainly powers up. Whoops. So that's quite good. Now, I wasn't completely aware of the speed of the processor. Now it's saying hard disk not found. And now it's saying mobile Pentium 3 800/650 megahertz. So it's got speed step. So it will dial itself back to 650 megahertz if needed. So I'm quite impressed. Also, it says the hard disk isn't present. But that's okay, because we removed it earlier. So, the machine works. So before we call this done, I've taken the bottom door off, and I'm now unsticking the CMOS battery. And I must admit, this is a lot easier than it was on the C610. The compound had literally hardened. So here we are, the old CMOS battery. And there's, practically only a tiny wee spot of residue on it. So now, get the new CMOS battery. Cable's a bit small, hopefully it should still fit. Actually, I think it will. So, basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this down. Actually, it's got a sticky pad right here, so stick it down the other way. Plug it in. Well, it's bad news, I'm afraid, about the battery. The end is the wrong type. It needs a 2-pin connector, whereas this is a 3-pin or a 3-socket. So this won't fit. So for a while, just going to have to go back to the old CMOS battery, which is a bit of a shame. So that aside, though, I do plan on sorting out a new one. I kind of owe it to this machine now. Now it's running Pentium 3 power. Okay, so the last screw is now in, but still one final thing that I need to do before I can stick a fork in this computer and call it done. And that is the addition of the hard disk, which actually on a Latitude is extremely simple. All you need to do is just drop it in. Push it lightly until it clicks into place, and then slide this up. And if I had the right size screw here, which I don't, I would put the screw in as well. Come on. But it doesn't necessarily need it. Also, while I'm at it, time to reinstall the battery. Again, same idea. Just drop it in, push until it clicks, and there we are. We now have a Dell Latitude C500 Pentium 3 powered. At some point, like I said, I would like to replace the CMOS battery. But for now, I'm going to keep onto this Celeron because it might come in handy for another application. So in valid configuration, what I'm going to need to do, tap the F2 button, and what I want to do is set the time, so it's 11:44 AM, and the date is March the 9th, 2013, and it's actually a Saturday. Last time the 9th of March fell on a Saturday, I was 13 years old, quite close to 14, and well, it was the first time I ever got to play theme park. I was dating a ghetto well, we were both kids, and she lent it to me, so that was, that's kind of like a nice warm memory to remember. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the Windows 2000 Professional CD somewhere, and I'm going to throw it in to this laptop. I'm going to go away and install that. So in order to do that, what I need to do, hit the escape key, and then cursor at the laptop for once again booting into wrong Ubuntu, as I like to call it. I mean, I like Ubuntu, but the later versions, I feel like they could be so much better. So even though I've lost the ThinkPad T21, I've certainly not lost what it can do. Because I now have that 800 MHz Pentium 3 power transplanted into this laptop. And now it's even detecting the CD DVD ROM drive. Press any key to boot from CD. And let her go! Well, ladies and gentlemen, while I was busy messing about with breaking down ThinkPads and upgrading computers with the mighty Pentium 3 processor, well, it seems I had some news. Today's the 9th of March. Let's get rid of all these partitions. What are these? Get rid of them all. Away with you. Give me a 20 gig NTFS partition. Do that. Well, I was messing about. Around about midnight last night, Scottish local time, my sister gave birth to a wee baby girl. To be honest, do you know, I wish I'd have been able to name her. Because if she was a girl, she's a girl. You know, if I was able to give her, if I was able to, name this baby, I'd name her Denise. Probably a good thing therefore it was now wee lad. Because if it had been a wee lad, I'd have named him the nephew. So now we have all the drivers installed on this Dell Latitude, as well as Service Pack 4. Still a couple of things that need installed, namely Office and some other software. Also an update to Internet Explorer to make it, well, to update it to version 6.0. So it's going to be a wee bit slow to start off with because I've just installed a whole bunch of drivers. But naturally, it will get quicker once it's, well, configured everything. Service Pack 4 has been installed as well. But overall, I am very happy with the performance given by this given by the Pentium 3. There we are. Got to start up. And sorted everything out. Says the battery is at 100% charged. I don't know how true that is, but apparently there is a battery in here. Now I just want to set up speed step. I like it to ask me before changing, and while it's doing that, I like it to have a notification, so you know you'll get a wee ping sound. So if this battery works, what should happen? I should get a wee notification like that saying that it's gone into speed step. So what will have happened now is the processor will dial itself back to 650 megahertz. And then once I plug the system back in, it'll speed itself back up to the full 800. So that is pretty good. I do not believe this wee Celeron chip actually had speed step. I've also added the OEM info. So now you can actually see that the Dell logo is here. It's a Dell Latitude C500. Downloaded a wee picture off of the internet that I'm now going to set as my desktop background. It's the new 2013 Lamborghini Veneno, or however you pronounce it, Veneno. Or Veneno. Veneno. I don't know how you pronounce it. But there it is. I mean, about that car, I think basically Lamborghini, well, it's back to how Lamborghini should be. You should see the back of it. I mean, this whole car is totally evil looking, especially if you were to have it in something like black. I think that's Lamborghinis are all about, you know? I mean, that thing would scare you, kind of coming along. And I can imagine having a roaring engine. It's proper bull. You know, it's properly like a bullless car. It's, proper Lamborghini. You know, it's not like the, Gallardo, which is basically just a great big Audi. It's, it is brilliant. Seriously, absolutely brilliant. So here it is a wee while later. I'm really, really sorry about having a break off there. I've got quite a few apps installed now. I've got Office, Power DVD, and even the August 2012 release of the Opera browser. More amazingly though, I have my printer driver. Believe it or not, it installed the Windows XP printer driver. Now I did try printing something off in Word. It made the motions of printing, but nothing came out. So I'm going to, and I can't access the printer properties page. But I mean, the fact that I've got my printer on here does actually show you that I am actually in fact connected to my home network. Yes, my main computer is called Shitrock. Which basically means I can access everything that's shared through my main PC on this wee Windows 2000 laptop. Which is actually more than can be said for Windows 8. I tried connecting to here on Windows 8, bearing in mind on a different machine. I didn't try and install it on this one. I wouldn't do that. I couldn't connect to anything, but on here, able to connect, not a problem at all. Seriously, what is with that? Windows 2000 can connect, but Windows 8 can't. So yeah, here we go. So this has been a video about the Dell Latitude C500 being upgraded from a Celeron processor to a Pentium processor at 800 megahertz. Thank you for watching this video, and I appreciate you actually taking the time to do so. Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe. Instructions on how to do so will, of course, follow. And I hope you'll tune in to see my next videos. And if you've not seen any of my past videos, please, you're more than welcome to go and have a look at them in my channel, scavenge around, and watch anything you like the look of. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you'll watch my next one.